is this asking for? This is asking for inventory costing methods, LIFO and FIFO, using the periodic inventory system. Okay, so all I do is I just scrape this right off. I don't need the bottom numbers. I don't want the bottom numbers actually. Come over here. Oops, what did I just do? This is an old version of what I did. Oh, I moved it. That's what happened. Okay, let's move this back. All right, so I just paste it in here. Voila, I have all the information I need. And it's giving me, we can actually keep this here if we want. So now I can just do totals, right? Equals sum. I'm going to sum all the purchases. I'm going to then equals sum all the totals. I can do a weighted average, right? I can just take that number divided by this number. Now I have my weighted average numbers. This I can sum that as well. This is all my sales. And we want to extend it. I don't like all this jargon, so we need to cut some of this down. We don't need all this stuff. So let's boil it down to something a little bit easier, and let's change these to actually numbers. So I have let's put a row right in here. This is quantity. This is price. This is total. This is quantity. And this is price. There'll be a total. Let's take out some of this other stuff. We all know it's units. We don't need to be told that. Let's put 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And let's go ahead and do the extension once, and then we can copy it over times that. So we're just going to replicate some of this, but we're going to put the formulas in here so that we can then use them over and over. So I can take this formula actually and just run it through here. So now I've got my totals here. So now at a minimum, I have my total sales price and all my purchases, right? So if I needed to, I could just do sales, COGS, and gross margin or gross profit. What do we call it? Gross profit. So my sales equals that number. I don't know what my COGS is yet, but I do know that sales minus COGS equals that. So I have now created a baseline to then start. I can do my inventory out. Inventory, oh my goodness. Inventory out. And let's do quantity. Quantity and total. And I can do my ending inventory. Ending inventory. And let's just do quantity and total. So this one's pretty easy. This one's pretty easy because we're just going to take we're going to take the quantity amount times the price that's over here, or this is really cost. Sorry. Let's make these a little bit easier to understand. So this is cost and this is the price. So as long as I take my quantity times the price for this batch, then I'm good. And I can just copy this down all the way down here, and I can have my totals once again, and I'll just do that. I copy this over to there, and voila, I've got that. I can actually copy these two things over. And now all I got to do is ending inventory is going to be the original quantity minus the inventory out times.
It is not the units ending inventory times cost per unit. Or the
Cost per unit. Yeah, that's what, but I'm taking ending inventory is going to be, well, let me just finish this out and I'll come back to it, okay? So, and let me put some, just insert. Let me just create some definition between these so that it's easier to follow. Let's just copy this and insert right there. Okay, and I'm going to put a little highlighting in here so that we can separate these things out. Okay, so inventory out, this one's right. I mean, you understand this one, right? Just the original cost times the amount that's going out, right? You follow that one? Okay, on this one, the total, actually, let me start this over. First, we want to figure out what the inventory is. So we're going to take this original number of quantity minus the inventory out quantity. Fair? This will make it a little easier to follow. So that's my ending inventory quantity. And then I can take my ending inventory quantity times my original cost, the cost for that batch, to come up with the value, right? I can copy this all the way down. Did I do that right? Yeah, I can copy that all the way down. And so I should have, when I'm done, let's give this a little dollar value. That's already got a dollar value. Let's give this a dollar value. And so now we have the makings of a template. And I don't know how long that took me, but this is where I would start. And now no matter what problem I come against, you know, in the quizzes or in the problems, I can just replicate this over and over. Because all I'm really focused on is this. Everything else will be automatically calculated.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I have, what's the problem here? So if I have okay, they already gave me the units sold. So they're asking me, in this case, LIFO and FIFO. Okay. So in this case, if I wanted to do, let's just take this and this isn't going to work, but that's okay. I'll come back here. Equals my sales and equals, okay. So now what I can do is this is FIFO. Let's do FIFO first, and then we can come down and do LIFO, right? So now I've got everything I need to just get going. So first in, first out periodic, I'm going to take these 440 units. Now I'm going to distribute them first all the way down until I get to 448 out. So I'm going to start here with 160. That means I have no quantity on that one. I'm going to then take this 246 and so now I have 42 left. Actually, let's do a little calculator here. This minus that will tell me how many I have left to distribute.
42.
Okay. Yep, so I got 42 left. Oops, I didn't do that in the right place, did I? Oh, no, I did. Okay. So then I need to take 42 off of this batch. 42, and there we go. Now I've allocated my inventory out. And so now I can, what's COGS? And actually, let's also capture one other thing, just because sometimes they come up with this. Insert. Let's do ending inventory. Right. Okay. So now in this case, my cost of goods sold would be my inventory out. That's 1226. Right. And my ending inventory is 1012.
101.
Yeah. Let me put some dollars on here, or at least just do that. Okay, that'll be close enough. 1012. Yeah, so now if I actually add these together, I should get 2238, which is the original number. So I'm good. I'm checking out. So now if I want to do the other one, the LIFO, I can keep everything here, right? Now I can just delete this column, and I'm going to go from the bottom up because it's the last in, first out. So now I'm going to take the 448. I'm going to allocate it backwards. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to do 68 there. I'm going to do 210 here. I got 170 left, so I can do it all right here. So that's the 170, right? And so now my cost of goods sold is 1690, and my ending inventory is 548. Okay, brilliant. So now with that, I should be able to come over here. Let's see if we can, let's minimize actually let's put this over here and let's bring this up over here. And so now it's going to ask me some questions, right? I have the answers, so we'll just check the answers against what I've come up with, see if I'm right. If I'm not, we'll go back and fix it.
Okay.
So on FIFO, which is this one, ending inventory is 1012, perfect. And cost of goods sold is 1226. Okay. On B, it's going to ask me for LIFO. LIFO inventory is 548 and cost of goods sold is 1690. All right. And then it's probably going to ask me which one generates the highest gross margin or gross profit. And in this case, it's going to be FIFO because the gross profit is 2358 versus 1894. If you didn't have the gross profit calculated, the other way of looking at it is whatever is the smallest cost of goods sold is going to generate the highest profit. So you can look at it two different ways if you haven't calculated the other one. And so in this case, it actually is asking us for the full thing. So sales, 3584, 3584, you notice they're the same. Cost of goods sold, we've already got here is 1226 and 1690. And then gross profit is 2358 and 1894.
Okay.